We just saw the Rise of Skywalker. Something underwhelming.
Hey, why is it so dark in here?
Someone
Can we
to
get
blame?
the lights on and do a review? Come on, what's going on?
What are you doing?
Gee, no, it's so dark here, dude.
I'm doing a
Let's
Darth
go.
Sidious. Hello and welcome to the fourth act. I'm Alex and that's Phil, and the Rise of Skywalker. The final chapter in the Skywalker Saga, according to Disney.
Thank God.
Is in theaters, so get ready for some opinions.
Because ours are the only ones that matter. You tell by the title, it's agree, disagree. We normally disagree, ranking video of Star Wars. But we each have 3 points written down. This is our usual shtick. We're gonna take turns going back and forth. If we agree with each other, we get a lightsaber over our heads. If we disagree, we get a red X.
Red lightsaber?
Blue
Red,
lightsaber.
green.
Purple.
Green.
Purple.
Before we get into it, we just want to do a quick hey thanks! Because we just hit 500 subscribers. I got my festive jacket. We're halfway to 1,000. 500 people is 500 people.
I'm gonna be more
man.
sincere. Thank you from the bottom of my heart.
So to say thank you, we're going to give away that pretty cool poster from the ranking video. There's your winner. Send us an email. You got it. Woo!
We'll mail it out sometime next year.
I want to thank you so much for your participation.
So leave a comment, talk to us, have a conversation.
engage with us.
We want to
Tell us
argue with you. Man. I mean, just leave a comment. Point number 1. The conclusion that this trilogy offers, that this movie offers, is extremely haphazardly thrown together. And it's not J.J. Abrams' fault. And it's not even Rian Johnson's fault.
Thank you.
It is Lucasfilm's fault and Kathleen Kennedy for not having a f***ing plan for a trilogy.
Whoa! You want to fight someone? I disagree. No, I think they did have a plan. Their plan was to have 3 different directors do 3 different Star Wars movies to make it a trilogy.
That's a terrible plan.
Not a great plan.
JJ had a plan, Rian Johnson threw it out.
Yes.
And now I understand why some people have a problem with that, but you know what? The second movie is where the franchise should fall. That's what happened with The Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah.
And I love that The Last Jedi did that. I loved Crate. It was like a world that's bleeding.
The Last Jedi is my favorite Star Wars movie.
And yeah. There are entire themes in that movie, though, that are completely ignored. Saving what we love, not fighting what we hate. Delivered in a dumb scene.
Why would you stop me?
I saved you. That's how we're gonna win. Not fighting what we hate. Saving what we love.
But resonant through the entire franchise, even if you look at Anakin's story, letting the past die. But now this one's like we're gonna go take the fight to them now. We're gonna fight what we hate. We're bringing back all the things that you love.
I think some things do carry on directly from The Force Awakens, not The Last Jedi. Yes, The Last Jedi is now like the ugly stepchild of this trilogy, unfortunately. But
I think it's this movie.
It's not the most conducive trilogy, but it's a little bit of shambles. But who cares? Who cares?
Don't say who cares. There is easily a way that you could have recontextualized The Last Jedi with this movie in an appropriate way, and J.J. Abrams clearly did not give a shit about doing that, and it's not okay.
It's fine. Kylo Ren did not need to die.
Disagree.
In 9 films of Star Wars, the villain always dies. They sometimes get a redemption, sometimes they don't, mainly Darth Vader, but they always end up dying, right? This could have been a really interesting take on a villain who actually has an arc. And then he keeps living, and he just keeps growing as these stories keep getting told. Why did he have to die?
That's a compelling argument, Phil, but I still think you're wrong, and I'm gonna tell you why.
Every word of what you just said was wrong.
I love that he was using the blaster.
Yes.
He looked like Han Solo at the end.
All good stuff.
That he was given a hero's death, and that was very noble of him. It's Rise of Skywalker. He died a Skywalker.
He died a Solo.
And both. He saved our protagonist. It was a great way for him to go away.
But he became
become a Force ghost now. He's one with the Force.
I don't give a shit about the ghost, and I don't understand why you can't have someone go through that giant shift in their life and have him keep living in this universe.
Man.
Because that would have been a more interesting character that we could follow up with later on.
It sounds like a personal problem that you need to take up with JJ.
Now you are going to die. Oh! Hey, what'd you do to my friend? The same thing I'm going to do to you, big boy. Oh!
All I know is he smiled, and I hadn't seen him smile the whole time, and then he passed, and I was very happy with it. The Force makes no sense. Finn's using the Force now?
Yes.
How? Why? It's never explained.
It's great because she connects with Rey, but she doesn't connect with him.
That's
Force is used as a place filler for all the problems in the script. Just with her healing Kylo. Han comes back.
Han Solo's just there. You want a cameo? How is he there? Who cares? It's Han Solo.
That's not how the Force works.
I mean, at the same time, I'm fine with that because it is Han Solo.
It was a good scene. From the early stages, it looked like this new trilogy was establishing a new rule. That the Force is awake in everybody. Not just, you don't need to be a Jedi, you don't need the heritage, because it doesn't belong to one faction. Rey is chosen to lead the charge. That would make sense. That's why she's a Mary Sue. That would explain her parents being nobody. The first two movies worked with that. If this one had reinforced that, it would have been the through line that would make everything work. And JJ just completely ignored it. You're Palpatine.
No. 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 You and I.
Agree. Carrie Fisher's dead. She shouldn't be in this movie.
Wait, is that real?
Yeah.
Okay, disagree.
Look, all right. The main point is that it just doesn't work for me. Her scenes they use like old footage with, it didn't feel
you
right.
can obviously tell, but
The thing that comes to mind obviously is Paul Walker. They had his brother step in. Don't laugh at me, all right?
okay, this is the second time now that
His
you compare
brother's-
Star Wars to Fast and
Stop it.
Furious.
You
Do
couldn't tell that it wasn't Paul Walker. You could tell that this
I
is clearly
could.
just old
Okay,
footage.
let's just look at that.
No.
Look at that weird face. It's a little bit weird, okay?
No, it's
Look,
okay. Look,
calm
it's
down.
not that weird. You could have polished it up because it felt like it was just a green screen scene.
What I did feel was missing was a certain level of emotion. Like I didn't feel like I was actually saying goodbye
Lack
to
of
Carrie
emotion
Fisher.
as well.
I mean, I don't know, man. I'll take what I can get. That's all. Everything in the movie was wet. There was a lot of water in. Everything was wet in the movie. Am I the only one? No! Oh my god! I didn't know you were actually gonna do that.
You peed yourself.
Shut up. I have to talk about this because I don't think anyone else noticed how many things they're fighting on the Death Star. It's wet. He finally raises the X-wing, which is cool, but like it's all wet. It's dripping even on the rebel planet where like their base is. I don't know if you saw, but there was like little tiny waterfalls and like behind them, dripping everywhere. Everything was wet. Even in the Sith like dungeon,
Okay, look.
it was wet down there.
Because in the original trilogy, sand is coarse and rough, and water is the opposite of sand.
I don't like sand.
Oh, agree. Star Wars 9 is a very wet film.
I'm sorry.
The real
That was
point
a
of
dumb
it.
point.
The real point of this is that it's not exciting. It's going to be largely forgettable on a grand scale for being the 9th final film in the Skywalker saga. The journey they go on is just largely
It's jumbled.
yeah. You're not going to be talking about Chewie got captured and he almost died. C-3PO gets hacked.
I have more respect now for Rian Johnson's The Last Jedi.
Thank you.
Because this is the movie that gave us what the fans wanted, and I was very disappointed. I'm not gonna. There's nothing I would go back to watching.
no,
This.
they visit the Death Star. Ooh, here we go.
I got that nostalgia in The Force Awakens. That's where you can have it.
yeah, because
Here's-
there's been time.
Like, you can't just dangle it in front of me. I'm not gonna like it. It's not enough for me now.
No, you're not
You
a
know?
cat. It's not yarn.
I'm not a cat, guys.
There you have it. That's our score. 3 lightsabers, 3 red X's, right down the middle, 50-50. It's a failing grade.
Yeah. Now we'll bring our ranking lists on the screen. There's our list. We did this last video. Phil, where would you rank Rise of Skywalker?
I'm gonna slip it into number 5.
I'm actually going to start by moving The Last Jedi up because I have a little bit more respect. I think there's some great scenes in that movie.
Good boy.
It's really just Canto Bite and Holo that I don't like.
Okay.
For The Rise of Skywalker, I put it at number 10.
That's low.
Yeah, it is pretty low.
Oh man. I was right about The Last Jedi. You bumped that shit up. Play that clip. Why is it number 9? Bump that shit up.
Because I don't think it was written well. I'm not putting it last because I just saw it. But check back with me in 6 months. Rise of Skywalker might be last. I felt nothing.
Wow.
We have a couple special rattle-off points we're going to go through real quick.
Special.
Just for fun.
Remember, everyone's special.
Yeah, the Force.
J.J. Abrams is back. Yay. George Lucas is still gone. Yay.
I would like to have him back now.
Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker, more like Star Wars: The Death of Solo. The Rise of Skywalker, more like Star Wars: The Adoption of Skywalker.
She doesn't necessarily become Skywalker like part of the family. She becomes a Skywalker, meaning she's not a Jedi, she's not a Sith. It's a new status of legend. She's a Skywalker. She's something else. That's why
not a thing.
That's why your
That's not
saber's
a
yellow.
thing.
Luke's scene was very satisfying. I like that he caught the lightsaber. Said it deserves more respect.
Poe was great in this. He's been my favorite character of this whole trilogy, so I love me some Poe.
What was Finn gonna say?
What was he gonna
What
say?
was he gonna say? Let's just put this to bed. J.J. Abrams had nothing to do with Lost. He made the pilot, and then he left. So stop comparing these. Stop it! Speaking of Lost, Dominic Monaghan was in this movie, a familiar face. You might recognize.
No,
this
just stop.
cameo.
Stop.
You
Put
made
it
that.
down.
Says not
Put it
any
down.
vote.
Thank God it's finally done. It's finally done.
Until the next movie.
Nope.
We will not be back next week. We're gonna take a break because you know it's the holidays. Take a break, treat yourself. I don't know. Thank you for watching. Leave us a comment. Talk to us. We want to hear from you.
Yeah.
Where does the Rise of Skywalker rank for you? Have you seen our Star Wars ranking video? You should check that out. We get really heated.
It's hot and sweaty.
Just as we do in our Fast and Furious ranking, our MCU.
Good shit.
Good stuff. We have a lot of fun with that. You can see it on the channel. And of course, like and subscribe to the channel. Or don't, because you have the Force.
Now your free will.
Everyone has the Force.
What?
Finn has the Force. I bet you C-3PO has the Force. He's a robot. JJ is my mom has the Force. I bet it's only a matter of time before we have Darth Jar
If you
Jar.
have free will. It's
Fucking,
okay.
I'm
It's
so
okay. It's
tired.
okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay.